All the gang, and here at Giant Stadium, the big story, injuries with the Giants. A very fragile team the Chiefs will see here today, particularly on the offensive line, Phil. Let's go through it now. The first 13 games, the Giants were solid on that line, but McKenzie is out. He's a scratch with a hamstring. Now, Pettigrew is questionable. He is going to dress, and if he's able to go, this is what the Giants will look like. Whitfield will slide over to right tackle, but Pettigrew, with an ailing back, is very likely not to start, which means Whitfield will go from the right side to the left side. Seibert will move into the starting lineup, and Deal moves from guard on the left side to right tackle. As crazy as it sounds, this is what probably the Giants will be with today.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm confused. What you're saying is the Giants' offensive line is really beat up. Dick Vermeil looking for an edge. He goes, we just got to win a game and get home. Then if they go home, he goes, if we can't win our 2 home games, then we do not deserve to be in the playoffs. But the Chiefs defense, ranked number 27th in the NFL, it needs some help. This offensive line gives them a chance today.
And for the Giants defense, trying to stop Larry Johnson, the hottest running back in the league right now, more questions loom right now. They'll have a guy in there at middle linebacker who really hasn't played except for special teams this year.
Yeah, Chase Blackburn. So how would you like to be the starting middle linebacker and see this Chiefs offense and all the shifting they do? We're going to watch it closely to see if that Giant defense makes mistakes.
All right, Phil, that's the story at the moment from the Red Sweater Brigade at Giant Stadium. And Greg, let's send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, there's a sale on those somewhere. Thanks, guys. We will see you in just a bit.
Jim bought them all. Look, they're physical, and when they do that, they win football games. I think they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage against the Giants. Eli Manning has struggled, so I'm taking the Chiefs, boys.
Who cares?
Oh, my, who said that? when I look at
What
the
is
Chiefs,
this thing?
When I look at the Chiefs,
You better care, because I'm winning the
two of the
picks.
top 4 rushers in the National Football League, Larry Johnson and Tiki Barber, and also 2 of the most explosive teams. But when you play a game that's evenly matched like this, it always comes down to turnovers. Eli Manning turns the football over entirely too much. As of late, I like the Chiefs on the road behind Larry Johnson.
You know, there's something that you said earlier in the season that I don't know if you remember this, but it's right on. Willie Roaf is back. And since Willie Roaf is back, the Kansas City Chief offense is back up and rolling like we thought they would early in the season. 4 consecutive weeks, 400-plus yards. Eli Manning cannot make any mistakes today. I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs as well. I just think that their offense is going to be too much. I care. I care about my pick. I know you guys don't care about your picks, but I care about my pick. I'm going to go with Kansas City.
I do care about my pick.
Kansas City.
Can we agree on one thing, that this should be a very spirited football game over at the Meadowlands?
Without question. It's going to be a great football game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of points put on the board today, Greg. And take care of the football, you're going to win.
Coming up, the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Giants. We will see you back here at halftime. Enjoy the game, everyone, here on CBS.
The secret American plane has... CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
With the first choice in the 2004 NFL Draft, the Chargers select Eli Manning, quarterback, Mississippi.
He carries the burden of being the #1 pick, and his father was a famous quarterback. His brother, a future Hall of Famer. And his draft day trade, one of the biggest ever.
The Chargers and the New York Giants have exchanged their draft picks, Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning.
On top of all that, his new home is the media capital of the world. Has anyone come into the league with more expectations than Eli Manning? Only a year later, he has not only proven he belongs, but has Giants fans thinking Super Bowl. Touchdown, Giants! Manning's next hurdle, Kansas City, a team that comes into the Meadowlands desperate in an almost must-win situation. The playoffs are nearing, and the pressure is mounting. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants. And welcome to Giant Stadium on a chilly but not unbearably so night here for the Chiefs and the Giants. So much at stake on each side. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simpson. Happy holidays to all of you. The headline at the moment involves the Giants and all their injuries. Their offensive line, they've shifted it around now 3 different ways, it appears. Only 2 starters will remain in their usual positions. But the story even gets more sordid when you look at their defense, because they've had another late scratch on that side. Carlos Emmons is out. They knew Pierce was going to be out at middle linebacker. In the end, what it means is a young rookie, a free agent rookie at that, Chase Blackburn, who's only played a few defensive snaps the entire season long, will start and try to help stop this Kansas City attack. And Larry Johnson tonight, it's an awful lot to ask for the Giants here.
Well, what you're saying here, Jim, is this is a tremendous opportunity for the Kansas City Chiefs. Dick Vermeil wants to get 1 win to play those final 2 home games. He says if we can't win those, then we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. These injuries, this is what you look for. Can the Chiefs take advantage of it?
Well, the Chiefs have certainly taken advantage of Larry Johnson's play since Priest Holmes went out at the end of October. And over the last 6 games, Larry Johnson has been on a rushing rampage.
Well, Larry Johnson, I think, is the big reason why this Kansas City Chiefs football team is still in the playoff hunt. His power running inside and his ability to make long runs to the outside when he gets there, his speed has settled this Chiefs football team down, helped out the offense, and helps out a defense that struggles.
And Trent Green also has benefited by the play of Larry Johnson. What a rhythm he has found here in the last 6 weeks. The back half of the season, he has the 2nd best quarterback rating in the league behind Peyton Manning.
Well, when you hear the word rhythm with the quarterback, that means he is playing really well, getting protection. That's Trent Green. Tom Coughlin said it best. He watched tape of Trent Green, he goes, wow, he is really accurate, and that's what he's been the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Meanwhile, Eli Manning has thrown more touchdown passes than any other quarterback in the NFC, but over the last 5 weeks, he's also thrown 10 picks. He is, as we talked about when we began the broadcast, under so much scrutiny. What about Eli?
Well, I think he's under a lot of pressure, too. This Giant offense, they rely a lot on a second-year quarterback. Tom Coughlin said, I'd like to take some of that pressure off of him, but when you're behind and you're trying to come back, who else are you going to look to except the quarterback? And he's handled it all very well.
Well, he does have some other weapons of considerable note, with Tiki over 1,300, Burris over 1,000, Shockey monster numbers as well.
This is as good a trio as there is in the NFL, and Eli Manning this year so far, he's taken advantage of all 3 of them.
All right, Phil, and the UPS reliable game points, why don't you take us through them?
Well, when you look at this game today, when opportunity knocks, we talked about it, Jim, Kansas City has a big chance here because of the Giant injuries. On the other side, the Giants, the other quarterback, Chase Blackburn, the middle linebacker, can he adjust to the complicated Kansas City offense?
For your reliable game picks delivered by UPS, log on to CBSSportsLine.com. This game will be coming to you in high definition by Sony, and it's coming up right here on CBS. But it's really a wild card chase for them. The Giants on top of the NFC East, but just a number of teams waiting for them to stumble. The Chiefs will be kicking to the Giants with Lawrence Tynes handling the kickoff chores, coming off that heartbreak miss last Sunday at Dallas that would have sent the game to overtime. They've made a change, by the way, on their kick snap after the low snap helped lead that field goal wide right. Morton and Jacobs back for the Giants. And we're underway with Chad Morton running it out from the 10-yard line. And he'll set up the Giants with an excellent starting position near the 38. And Eli Manning, the 21 touchdowns versus 15 interceptions, but he did throw 3 picks in his last 11 attempts last week against the Eagles. They pulled it out, however, in overtime. This is the big story. Whitfield starts on the left side with Pettigrew active but not starting, and Deal moves over to the right side from guard, and Seibert moves into the starting lineup. Barber has been 40% of the offense this season. And they come out right away with an empty backfield, and excellent protection leads to the completion to Toomer. A flag is down. You had a quick glimpse of Luke Pettigrew, who was kept active, but with an ailing back. They worked him out, and he looks very tender.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, 50. On the defense, that penalty be declined. Result of the play, first down.
Well, the New York Giants, they come out with a spread offense. Two wide receivers and Jeremy Shockey. The contact, Kavika Mitchell up the field against Jeremy Shockey. The Giants spread out the Chiefs defense. They become very simple. That's what they think, and it was on the first play.
You saw the contact at the 10-yard mark, 5 yards too much. And now it's Barber, and just back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Mitchell this time comes up to make the play after being flagged for the penalty on first down. First snap. Could be a huge day for Jared Allen, the sack man for this Kansas City defense. Has 10 on the season. There's Mitchell, who is improving 5 a week, manning the middle. And Surtain in the secondary with Wesleyan Knight and Warfield. Second down and 10 for the Giants. And again, that revamped offensive line gives them time, and that bounces off the hands. A drop by Shockey. What do you see here as the keys when the Giants have the football?
Well, here's what I see, Jim. The New York Giants are an aggressive offense. Tom Coughlin said, despite the injuries, we can't stop them, so we're going to attack. Same plan the Dallas Cowboys used last week. The Kansas City defense, they like the blitz. Dick Vermeil says, we're good at it. We want to get after Eli Manning. Of course, all teams want to get after the quarterback, but he will still throw it down the field when under pressure, and that's when turnovers occur.
So 3rd and 10. And let's see if they do blitz here. Incomplete, but a flag thrown as they went back across the middle to Toomer. Surtain on the coverage.
Holding on the Chiefs.
Prior to the pass, holding. 23, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Patrick Surtain on the outside against Amani Toomer. Grabs him. Nice, real good hold. Got the whole arm. The Kansas City Chiefs, when the Giants spread it out, I do not think the Chiefs match up very well. That's why Tom Coughlin wants to do it. They're going to be aggressive. Coach Coughlin, you could have 2 new tackles in there. That's okay. They're veterans. Got to go. So even though they haven't played much, he expects a lot from the 2 new veteran tackles.
And first down, they hand it off to Barber and trying to run away from the heat, but Sammy Knight stays right with him for a 3-yard loss. Now, when you met with Eli on Thursday, he talked about how the first few snaps of the game were going to be so important for him to see what Kansas City was putting up against him in this game.
Well, all quarterbacks want to know that early, Jim. So the Giants came right out. They spread out the Kansas City Chiefs. And like a lot of defenses, when you spread them out, they get really conservative. The Giants want to see that because their skill guys are absolutely better than the skill guys the Chiefs have on defense.
Giants with multiple shifts, second down and 13. And again, Barber unable to find any room. Give him a yard. That's it. What a season it's been for Tiki, though. He's fumbled only once the entire year and almost 400 touches. You look at his career, the Giants all-time rusher, total yards, moving in on 1,400 on the season. He's ranked 3rd right now in the league.
Pretty classic the way he holds the football. Tom Coughlin came in here when he took over the Giants last year, and the first issue they addressed, Tiki, here's how you hold the football. That will eliminate a lot of fumbles, and it did. Points of pressure.
Down and 12. Now they come in on the blitz. Gets the pass away to Toomer and another first down. So another 3rd down conversion. Last one by a penalty. This one by pass for 15 yards.
Just a lot of matchup problems for this Chiefs defense. They even blitz on this play. 5 guys coming. Eli goes backwards. Amani Toomer does a good job of shaking his man, Dexter McCleon. Boy, that's a nice play by Eli Manning. When you make plays like that and you complete them, they go, wow, what a play. And then if he threw an interception going backwards, they go, well, you can't do that. Well, you can't have it both ways. Nice play.
First down, Barber. And a gain of 3. That is it. And Tiki a little slow now. He's up just fine. We've got Bonnie Bernstein running the sidelines for us. Bonnie, what's up?
Hey, Jim. Well, the Chiefs picked up on some interesting tendencies of the Giants offense they're hoping will come in handy today. They talked about Plexico Burress and how the Giants love to go to him on 3rd and long. In 3rd and medium situations, say 3rd to 6 and 9, it's Jeremy Shockey. Amani Toomer, the guy in goal to go and red zone situations. Vermeil always preaches turnovers, so no surprise, Jim. That's the mantra for today.
Now the Giants moving with the first possession, and Eli shakes away from the pressure and gets the pass away incomplete for Burress, who wanted a flag. Jared Allen somehow let Manning escape.
Well, the big old cowboy couldn't bring the Manning boy down. Jared Allen, I think he likes to wrestle a few steers and all that stuff. He gets past Whitfield this time, but he's coming so fast to the outside, he cannot get a good enough grip. Good job by Eli Manning, keeping your feet under you, breaking the arm tackle, and getting rid of the football.
Well, Dick Vermeil yesterday lamented about how 3rd down really killed his team last week. They've already seen a couple of conversions by the Giants on this opening drive. 3rd and 7. Manning. And the ball knocked loose by Hicks and recovered by Kansas City. Junior C with the recovery, and Kansas City, just as Bonnie talked about, keying up on turnovers, they forced the takeaway.
Well, the protection was good, but finally on 3rd down, there is some coverage down the field. So Eli Manning gets it. Time, step up, throw. Nobody's open by the time he can find it. Oh, there are some open receivers too. Just they came open too late for Manning. Good job by Hicks.
That reworked offensive line held pretty sturdy the first 5 or 6 snaps, but then began to buckle those last 2 plays. Almost an Allen sack, and then Hicks forcing the fumble, and Kansas City takes over. At the 31.
The crowd was making noise. They wanted Tom Coughlin to challenge, and finally he must have, somebody upstairs said, here's a replay. It's a good time to throw the red flag.
New York is challenging the ruling on the field. That was a fumble. We'll review the play.
So Bill Carollo will head under the hood. Was it a pass or a fumble? We'll find out in a moment.
Well, it was ruled a fumble on the field. Was Eli Manning's arm coming forward before the football came loose? And
After
absolutely
reviewing
not.
the play stands as called a fumble. The ball was hit before the ball was being passed forward. Kansas City's ball. New York is charged with their first charge timeout.
It's a good challenge by Tom Coughlin because it happened in scoring territory. They would have had a field goal attempt, and he didn't have much to go on either. And now he wants the crowd to get involved.
Yeah, Tom Coughlin stirring it up.
Coach Coughlin, he'll do it all. Jim, you talked about it, all the injuries to the Giants. The first one came through. Of course, even if they didn't have injuries, Eric Hicks still could beat the right tackle and get the sack. But the injuries to the linebackers, how will that affect this Giant defense today?
Well, he was going against their usual starting left guard when he beat the right tackle to get to the quarterback. Their first snap, it's Larry Johnson with a huge seam and 11 easy yards.
The Giants see all the shifting. Casey Blackburn, number 57. Oh, just gets pushed inside. What a hole for Larry Johnson to see the first time he carries the football. They just washed the Giant defense to the left side. Larry Johnson runs to the right, first down.
Just looked like before the snap some real confusion for that linebacking group trying to figure out where to line up, and that was exploited. Back they go to Johnson on the toss. Umanura flings him forward for an extra couple, and it gains 4 in all. Here's Trent Green in what has been certainly an emotionally draining season for him. He told us yesterday he held on to the Cowboy loss a little longer than usual, but he is in some rhythm right now. Over 300 last week, which sent him over 3,000 on the season. This line has been intact now for a couple of weeks. Rofe was out early in the season, some with a hamstring, but that is one of the best in the leagues as a unit. And Larry Johnson, 6 straight 100-yard performances, a Chief record. 2nd down and 6. They throw it over to the right side, and that's Kinnison with a 1st down. And it's easy pickings here at the beginning for Kansas City.
Well, it is so far. You got to, Jim, say this. You got to give this Giant defense a few plays to settle in and get used to all that they're going to see from this Chiefs offense. But look at Will Shields. Nick Greising goes out there, and the linemen for the Kansas City Chiefs, they can block the point of attack. They can block in space. They all can run. That's why they're terrific on offense.
Again, the Giants missing William Joseph on the line, and 2 of their 3 starting linebackers are out, Emmons and Pierce. 1st down and 10. And Johnson dancing around at the line, hoping to find something, but no gain. So we talked about the Giants' offensive line. Patchwork, same goes on this side. But Human Europe having a sensational stretch here over the last 6 weeks, the top sack man in the league. And there's Chase Blackburn, his first start, and really has only seen a few snaps, only in defense in the San Francisco game weeks back. And in the secondary, it's Allen. Blackburn has been primarily a special teams player this season. So 2nd down and 10. And Green looking throw all the way wide open. He has his man. It's Parker, who looked very impressive last week against the Cowboys, and a flag on the back end of that. Maybe a little spearing or jawing on Alexander of the Giants. Or was it Parker who was doing the talking? Gained 17 yards.
You know, I look at this, I'm watching this Giant defense while they decide what to call. Think about it too. You got 2 new starting linebackers. You got to play it safe early. And so far they have.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting number 18 of the offense, throwing the ball at his opponent. It'll be a 1st down, 1st and 10, 15 yards back.
That's Sammy Parker, number 18. Well, he gets mad because there's a hit. Well, that hit was legal. What does he do as he goes to the ground? Well, that's a really good hit. I'll tell you. I know they want to keep the taunting and all that other stuff out of the game. That is not worthy of a 15-yard penalty.
Look pretty ticky-tack. It'll set it back to the 41. But a 1st down for Kansas City. Flood that right side. Pressure coming in. Setting up the screen. Johnson makes one move past Human Europe. And another. It's tossed out of bounds inside the 30. Wigman and Shields help throw some blocks on that screen.
Feel like I'm doing a replay of last week's game. You got to be alert for everything with the Kansas City Chiefs. You want to pressure them? Perfect time to throw the screen. It's not even great blocking this time down the field. It's Larry Johnson just making people miss. And Jim, we talk about it. He can run between the tackles as good as anybody in the league, but also has terrific feet, and he can go right around you too.
Boy, it looks like they spotted him out. I didn't see him step out. I thought he was 2 yards past the 1st. That's Richardson stacked up. Now they'll have 3rd down. They may have had that 1st down on the screen, but I believe one of the linesmen believed he had stepped out of bounds. 3rd and short coming up, Phil.
Well, let's talk about what's going to go on in this game today. For the Kansas City offense, Jim, you talked about it. The quarterback's in rhythm. The whole side, the whole offense is in rhythm because of the offensive line play. The New York Giant defense, Chase Blackburn, the middle linebacker. Can he figure out and get the Giant defense set once Kansas City Chiefs do all their shifting around?
Well, Kansas City has taken a timeout with 3rd down on the way and driving in Giants territory.
CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. IBM, become an on-demand business. IBM can help. And by Toyota, choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
And we're back 3rd and 1 on the way. Here was the Larry Johnson. He did, in fact, step out. They had it right on that one. And then they stacked up Richardson on 2nd and 1. Coming out of the timeout. 3rd, we'll call it a yard. The Giants jump. That's a procedure call against the Chiefs.
Ball start, 76 offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I'll tell you why this is a big penalty. Of course, it's 3rd and short, but the run was going to go to the left side. So the right side was going to have so little to do with the outcome of getting the 1st down. So to get antsy and to be nervous in a situation like that, you got to know the situation. And I don't know who jumped first, John Welborn or Jason Dunn, the 2nd tight end.
I think Dunn's flinch set Welborn off early, and now it's 3rd and 6. Chris Wilson has come into the Chiefs lineup. And now, do they get the 5 yards back or another procedure call?
Ball start, number 10, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
4th penalty already on the Chiefs.
Well, here's what happened, and I know it happens. It happened to me many times. The quarterback forgets the snap count. So Trent Green, he's ready to go, and the offensive linemen showing good discipline. They stay in there.
Giants have seen a few false starts in their time this season.
They have. Trent Green talked about it, that the pass rushers for the Giants, like most teams, are much better at home. The Chiefs, they pride themselves in handling situations like this very well. Hostile environments.
3rd and 11. And Green in trouble. Taken down at the 43. The sack by Robbins and Allen.
The 5-yard penalty they got could have been the difference in no points and a touchdown. The Chiefs offense was moving. The pocket collapsed, nowhere for Trent Green to go. Good pressure on the outside. You worry about it as a quarterback, and the receivers are not open fast enough for Trent Green to find them.
Dustin Colquitt, the rookie punter they drafted in the 3rd round out of Tennessee, comes in, and this one gets right past the Chiefs. Diving bid to save it, and they say he did. What a play down there. Chris Horn diving into the end zone to save it. Morton watched it go by, and look at Horn.
Watch Chris Horn, number 81, knows the rules, cannot step on the end zone line. He does not. Throws it back into the field to play, and Jim Nantz, you said it right. He just made 18 yards for the Kansas City Chiefs.
From the 2, the Giants on their 2nd possession. They turn it over the 1st time. It's a gain of 2 for Tiki, and you can log on to NFL.com and keep track of the latest official playoff picture, as well as all the information you need to win your fantasy league. It's all playoff time on NFL.com or NFL on AOL. Giants have the best, on average, starting field position in the league.
When you see that, I'm sorry, Jim, when you see that, that usually means your defense is doing a lot of 3 and outs. And the Giants have done that since the San Diego game.
Manning's pass low, but fielded by Toomer. Do they give him the catch? They do at the 11.
As I watch this Giant offense, 2 new tackles, but all these linemen, at least last week, they got a chance to get some work in. Will it affect the running game? Yes, I think it'll affect the run more than the pass. Good job by the Giants.
Hurrying to the line because the Chiefs thought that may not have been caught. And Barber's 2nd effort picks up the 1st. So they did not give Kansas City a chance to even think about a possible review of the catch by Toomer.
Well, you know, not only that, Jim, I think they go up there too. It just catches the defense off guard, and it's easier to pick up a 3rd and short situation. It doesn't let them get ready for their goal line offense or their specialized run stopping offense. Good job by the Giants, hustling up to the line of scrimmage.
And of course it was a catch anyway, as the replay confirmed. 1st down as they work out of the hole. And now Manning tuck it under? No, he's going to throw it away.
I like it. Most quarterbacks would have just ran out of bounds with that football. You know why, Jim?
Because
they don't want to throw an incomplete pass. And you go, oh,
hurt
come
the
on.
Stats?
Absolutely. So Eli Manning, 1 yard. It's a lot. It's tough in this game. But to go back, the Chiefs are good against run. They're 6th in the league. They're weak against the pass. They're in the bottom third easily in pass defense. Offensive linemen, the longer the game goes, the more rhythm they get into of blocking defensive pass rushers.
2nd down and 10. We've seen this look a couple of times. Eli clearing it out, and the pass behind Burris. And he takes the blame for that one. 3rd and 10 on the way.
Yeah, it was a good formation by the Giants. They're going to do it. They do a lot of different, give the defense a lot of different looks. And when they do that, they have such good skilled receivers that it's just hard for the defense to match up all the time. John Huffnagel, the offensive coordinator.
Former Penn State quarterback.
That's right.
3rd and 10, and Tim Carter in for the Giants. Manning from the gun. Up top he goes, and in double coverage. The pass was right where it had to be. Shockey got a hand on it, but the collision helped jar it loose with Sammy Knight.
Well, too, that time the Giants, for the first time in this game, helped out one of their tackles. They kept Tiki Barber in, and he helped out the right tackle, David Deal.
So Jeff Feagles, 286th consecutive game played. That's right. Most in the history of the league in his 18th year. Directional punt coming over to Dante Hall, trying to spin away from Deloach, and he's taken down. Taken down by Torber after a 46-yard boot.
On CBS is sponsored by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Monday, Dave is all new, and he welcomes the one and only Jim Carrey. And later in the week, don't miss Jamie Foxx. Dave's all new all this week on America's #1 network. Kansas City with the football for the 2nd time. Drove it to the Giants 30 the first time, and then the drive stalled and backed up after some penalties and a sack. Off the play action, Green, sideline, batted away. Corey Webster, the rookie from LSU, intended for Parker.
Good job. The Kansas City Chiefs, when they throw the football, they like to go down the field, and that time Webster does a good job of not going for the fake down the field. Fred Robbins gets pressure up the middle and gets a hit on Trent Green. The defensive line for the New York Giants, they have turned the season around for this football team.
2nd and 10. We'll run it with Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson tiptoeing past the traffic and picks up another sizable gain of 15.
You hear it so often, and we've heard it about Larry Johnson. Talented, maybe a little too quick in making decisions, but just picks his way. Let me go inside. He goes out and a cut back in, and Jim, it's your favorite term. He layered that run.
He did. He showed the patience.
And that's what it takes. Just like a quarterback, the more they get to throw the football, the better they get. Running backs, the longer they get into games, the more carries. They get a lot smarter when it comes to making those decisions.
And now a 2nd trip to the Giants into the field. Back to Johnson. Had to reach out for that toss. And the timing off. Torber comes up to make the hit.
There you go. The linebackers finally getting in the action, making a play.
Torber stepping in today for Carlos Emmons.
Boy, yeah, it's hard to keep up with the changes in this New York Giants team because of injuries. But look at today's starting linebackers. Chase Blackburn making his first start.
He has not made a tackle other than special teams. He's made 15 on special teams, but none lined up on defense. But starting in this one for Pierce. Second down, across the middle, and the Chiefs kind of confused. That was in the area of Horn, Gonzalez. Too many players around that same area.
Well, when you're the quarterback and you're playing the New York Giants, I don't care how good your offensive line has been playing, you get a little antsy. And the Chiefs wide receivers get so close to each other, they're not sure who the football is going to. But quarterbacks get impatient. Your decision making is not as good when you're playing against not one good pass rusher, but two really good ones.
3rd and 11. Up top for Gonzalez, and boy, is he whacked. Pass incomplete. Alexander and Jabril Wilson collide with the famed tight end.
Tony Gonzalez has been so good this year and every year, going up and catching the football in the crowd. But that time, it's just a little too far out of his reach. He uses his size extremely well, passed just too far that time.
So 3rd and long, killing both offenses, and Colquitt's second punt. First one was downed at the 2. This one a fair catch at the 17 by Morton. Giants and Chiefs, no score, intense action first quarter. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer, the latest NFL news and playoff information. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Jim Nantz with Phil Simms, Bonnie Bernstein at Giant Stadium. New York taking over at the 17. Sold the fake pass to the sideline, and a diving attempt at it, incomplete. Looking for Toomer, who's already caught 3 balls in this opening quarter.
You know, you just as you say that, you know what it brings to my mind? Amani Toomer couldn't catch the touchdowns last year, wasn't getting his share of the catches. You bring in Plexico Burress, and all of a sudden, everything on your offense gets better. It makes the quarterback more comfortable. You can throw the football to your tight end. And Amani Toomer, well, now he's not the #1 receiver. Let him double cover Plexico Burress.
Back to Barber, and he's met head on by C of E. You talk about the receivers last year, Toomer and everybody unable to find the end zone. They caught all the receiving core last year for the Giants, a total of 2 touchdowns this season. To date, 12.
And you know, Jim, you think one receiver doesn't make a difference? We're privy to a lot of information. We know it does. Every time we did a Steelers game last year, the opposing team, the defensive coordinator, would moan and groan about Plexico Burress. He comes to the Giants, they throw the ball to him a lot. We understand why now.
And flags right before the snap.
I always think that's a good barometer of your ability.
Ball start, 66, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's always tells us something how much the opposing coaches complain about you and focus and talk about you. So we heard that a lot last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, what was it Plexico was saying in the meetings with the team, our team this week? He's, you know, the down the field action hasn't been there in recent weeks, and he said, I want it back on Saturday.
Well, you got to learn to take some of those short ones every once in a while. The ball starts for the Giants high. A lot of them were in Seattle.
3rd and 15, and there's Burress down the field. And at the 30, he's got another first. But a flag is down, and the Chiefs are indicating it's going against New York.
3rd and long, Bonnie Bernstein. She knows, she said it. 3rd and long, they are going to look for Plexico Burress, and they throw those inside routes to him at a high rate, and he's always open, it seems like.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 60. The offense will keep the ball 15 yards after the reception, 1st and 10.
First down, but that's against O'Hara, the center for the Giants.
Well, what does he do? Look at him in the middle of the screen. Oh, we lost him. First, Plexico Burress, big. He's really about 6'6", does a good job of shaking. Watch number 60 in the middle of your screen. The play is over. And we had a little fight going to the ground. And as a quarterback, you don't mind that. You like some offensive linemen with a little personality.
But as long as that personality doesn't cost you 15 yards too often.
It's okay. Sometimes it's worth it.
This one backs him up inside the 20. Again, the completion stands. First down for the Giants. First and 10. Open is Barber. And Mitchell gets a hand on him. Watch out. That could draw a flag, and it does. On Sammy Knight.
Yeah, Dick Vermeil. Hey, this game's important. Of course it is.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 29. Late hit when the player was down, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's a blitz. Is Tiki Barber down? He goes to the ground. He's touched, but Tiki Barber is, well, I'm going to give Greg Wesley the benefit of the doubt. When I saw it live, I went, well, that is a terrible call. I'm sorry, it's not Greg Wesley. It
was Sammy Knight.
Sammy Knight that does it.
But Mitchell had touched Barber,
but Sammy Knight
by the ankle.
Sammy Knight did not know that. So if you don't know, go up and touch him because he's down, picking him up and driving him back. That's why the official threw the flag.
First down for New York from the 40. And Barber trying to create space and able to weave for 5. Jared Allen.
Tells you a lot about this Chiefs defense, though. They keep getting the New York Giants in really tough situations, and the Giants get out of it. There's a reason why the Chiefs are far down in the league when it comes in scoring defense.
Final half minute of the first quarter, and the Giants have it second down and 5. It's Barber by the ankles. It's Eric Hicks. And that may be it for the first quarter. You know, this is not something that's meaningful to these players on the field. Hicks taking himself out. It looks like he may have been banged up. Kansas City has played at the Giants 5 times. The last was in '98, so it doesn't affect these guys. But they've never won here. They're 0-5, and one trend continues. They have still never scored in the first quarter at the Giants. No scoring in that first quarter. Giants coming in off an overtime win, their 3rd overtime game of the year, beating the Eagles last week, while the Chiefs have been in a couple of shootouts in recent weeks. High scoring affairs, but nothing so far in this one. Jared Allen looking in, ready to pounce on Eli Manning given the chance. And Eli faces 3rd and 4 to open the second. Looking right sideline, it would have been a tough grab. Carter had a fingertip on it.
And it would have been a tough grab and a much better look from the Kansas City defense. Playing it conservative, dropping back instead of trying to cover the Giant receivers man to man. Because every time they've manned up, the Giant receivers are running past these defensive backs.
So Jeff Fiegels to punt again. What a superb record this year. Touchbacks inside the 20 versus touchback. The ratio 22 inside the 20s and only 2 touchbacks. How do you call that, Bob Shepard? You say Bob Shepard around here, it's a name sports fans in New York certainly are familiar with. There he is, legendary public address announcer. He's been with the Yankees for 55 historic years. Talk about the eras he's watched at it. Yankee Stadium, but also with the Giants from Yankee Stadium days, right through the likes of Phil Simms. And this is his 50th year with the Giants, and it's going to be his final season with the Giants. He'll continue to be with the Yankees. And listen up here on this play by Larry Johnson.
Well, he got
Ball
shy.
carried by Johnson.
Yes. All right, a little understated today.
Well, any Giant player or Giant coach, Bill Parcells can imitate him. It's unbelievable. Carpenter on the run. Carpenter. It's not very good. It's as good as I can do. But I used to listen to him during the games ago. That's pretty cool the way he just said that.
Back to Larry Johnson. And you can remember a few Simms to Bavaro.
Not enough of them, but I heard a few of them.
Johnson.
But it's just part of the history of the New York Giants, what he has done. And Jim, for so long, of course, I'm a Yankee fan too, so I'll still get to go out there to the Yankee games and hear him announce those games too.
There he is, the great Bob Shepard, retiring from the Giants public address role after 50 years. Continue with the Yankees. Now, Green. Man open, it's Gonzalez. And Chiefs pick up a big first down on 3rd and short, gain of 11.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, they guessed right that time. They put 3 guys out there. Tony Gonzalez in the slot. He's going to kind of come underneath the receivers, just trying to create a traffic jam. That's what happened. And Trent Green, it's a blitz. He hangs in there, stays what I would say soft in the pocket. Nice and relaxed. Under pressure, allows the quarterback to still be able to throw it down the field.
The pressure was applied by Blackburn. And first down. Back to Gonzalez for a second straight play. Look at the hit applied by Eddie Kinnison on Chase Blackburn.
Yeah, Chase Blackburn, he don't care. He's just happy to be out there. It was a good lick. It was hard and it was solid, so it didn't bother him that much. But a good job by him. Seeing the throw. Eddie Kinnison coming into your screen. Excuse me. You know, believe it or not, sometimes the harder you're hit, the least it hurts. The less it hurts.
Believe it or not, not.
No, I'm serious.
Okay, no.
It happened. I remember those things.
There's a patient move again by Larry Johnson. And Johnson weaving and stepping all the way down to the 34. There is a flag near the 40 after that 18-yard run.
Larry Johnson, you're a defender, you must go. Wow, you know, he's a lot quicker than I thought he was going to be. And when you stand next to him, you go, man, this is a big man. So, old style NFL running back, big.
Face mask, 5 yards only. Number 28, enforced from the end of the run. First down.
Jabril Wilson, number 28, sticks his hand up there, and I don't know if he got the face mask, but it looked like he did maybe, so 5 yards.
Looks like he got right around the collar. But they tack on some extra yardage. First down, Kansas City at the 30. Running to the rope side, and it's a quick 6 for Larry Johnson, and quickly down to Bonnie.
Jim, I've been able to gain some clarity on this whole Carlos Emmons late scratch situation. He strained a pec week 6 against the Broncos, missed 3 games. He's been playing through pain, but really aggravated the injury late this week in practice. He was out there before the game right up until New York had to declare it their inactives. And basically the problem was Emmons isn't able to reach all the way out with his hands, which obviously becomes a problem when you're trying to tackle guys, Jim.
Thank you, Bonnie. So again, Emmons and Pierce, 2 of their linebackers starters out today. Boss, Johnson. And there's the tackle by the new starter, Chase Blackburn.
And Jim, we were talking, as you look at this linebacking core, they were having a lot of trouble. They were talking a lot, trying to get lined up. But this series, they've become more aggressive. We're seeing some blitzes. Now, blitzes, there's not a lot of thinking. Just the ball snapped, try to run to the quarterback, but a good tackle that time by Blackburn.